Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has once again found himself at the center of controversy regarding ceasefire negotiations. According to a report in Israeli newspaper Haaretz, Israel's Channel 12 aired a recording from a meeting on Monday where Netanyahu reportedly expressed strong opposition to a proposed hostage deal in Gaza. This was basically a Likud meeting on Monday. This deal, which reportedly involved trips by Mossad and Shin Bet officials to Egypt and Qatar, was expected to facilitate the release of several hostages in exchange for a temporary ceasefire in the Gaza war. As per the news report, Netanyahu has said that he would reject any agreement that would not allow the Israeli Defense Forces to resume combat in Gaza. You see, Netanyahu's stance has consistently thwarted ceasefire efforts over the past year. We've been telling you about this repeatedly, and his approach is not new. As per various reports, each time there is a glimmer of hope for peace, whether through backdoor negotiations or formal proposals, Netanyahu has found a way to sabotage it. And this pattern of obstruction, often through leaks or even public statements, has reportedly become a defining feature of his leadership in the ongoing conflict. And this has reportedly frustrated not just the senior officials in Israel, but also the United States. Remember, last month, US President Joe Biden said Netanyahu, quote unquote, is not doing enough to secure a truce and hostage agreement in Gaza. Netanyahu's remarks on Monday reiterated that any deal which does not permit the IDF to return to the battlefield is unacceptable. As per reports, Israeli military officials, however, have called Netanyahu's opposition unnecessary as the war in Gaza had achieved all the military objectives as early as April this year. According to reports on Tuesday, Netanyahu convened a meeting with top defense officials and cabinet ministers to discuss a separate ceasefire proposal for Lebanon. It is reportedly a proposal led by US envoy Amos Hochstein. Reports say the Biden administration is pushing for a resolution before the US elections. A Reuters report on Wednesday said that US mediators are working on a proposal to halt the hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah, starting with a 60-day ceasefire. And the news report further stated that the 60-day truce deal has replaced a proposal last month by the US and other countries, remember, for a 21-day ceasefire. The 21-day ceasefire deal was quickly rejected by Netanyahu, as you might recall. As per reports, the US and various other countries were of the view that Israel was fully on board with the 21-day ceasefire deal and were left surprised, basically, and disappointed that Israel had rejected it. With Netanyahu's office saying that the Israeli Prime Minister had never supported any ceasefire agreement. Meanwhile, the new Hezbollah chief has said that the group will continue to implement its war plan. Listen in to what he said.
We will continue to implement the war that Nasrallah developed with the leadership of the resistance, and we will stay on course of the war within the drawn political directions.
Israel Defense Minister Yoav Gallant on Tuesday said that Hezbollah's capabilities have been severely weakened. As per reports, the group now retains just 20% of its pre-war rocket and missile arsenal. Gallant emphasized that Hezbollah's forces are no longer organized to launch large-scale attacks.
I estimate the residual capacity of Hezbollah's projectiles and rockets to be in the order of 20%, and it is no longer organized in a way that it can fire volleys or similar things.
The thing is, despite all of these developments, Netanyahu's consistent rejection of ceasefire deal in Gaza or Lebanon, along with his insistence on maintaining a hard-line stance, raises a series of big questions about the future of the region. So far, each time a potential deal comes up, he seems to ensure its demise quickly. Analysts say that the ongoing conflict, particularly in Gaza and Lebanon, has already run its course, with both sides facing enormous losses and destruction. Yet, Netanyahu's reluctance towards diplomacy signals a commitment to prolonging the war, leaving many across West Asia and around the world wondering when or if lasting peace will ever be achieved. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.